Good evening, guys. Good evening, everybody. Here we go. You know what I have to say? Another day, another dollar, another live stream. Back again. I'm going to get more into all this stuff with the Diddler. There's been some other stuff news that came out about the former Abercrombie and Finch CEO getting arrested for sex trafficking. So I'll cover a little bit some of that story. So I'm just going to see how we are for numbers. What we usually do is get the link out to a few places, but boost up the numbers, wait and see how if the regs are about, if they're going to jump on. I'm just going to give it a little bit of time. Hopefully, we can get a decent audience in. So with this headline, pro athlete allegedly stopped intoxicated Sean Diddy Combs from sexually assaulting man at celeb-filled party. So at least someone in that whole bizarre celebrity world, has a little bit of decency. See how we are. Still quite quiet. Sometimes, though, maybe the numbers don't show on my end. There. Maybe just left it too late. Let's see how we are. So here we go. So the New York Post, I believe this was an exclusive by the New York Post, that pro athlete allegedly stopped intoxicated Sean Diddy Combs from sexually assaulting man at celeb-filled Ciroc vodka party. A professional athlete allegedly stopped the drunk Sean Diddy Combs from sexually assaulting a luxury car businessman at one of his celeb-filled parties, a new lawsuit claims. The alleged victim, only identified as John Doe, claims the attack unfolded during a launch party for Combs' Ciroc vodka brand around 2022. The man, who runs a LA-based business renting luxury cars and jewelry, alleges Sean Combs stripped off his pants and exposed himself. And I'd heard a similar allegation about this, about some guy who was like a personal trainer. I don't know if this is the same guy or is it a different one, because there's so many of these allegations now. It's like unreal. And exposed himself after inviting the guest into his private office during the event. And there were some photos the guy took of Diddy there, but the photos redacted, so other people in it, they're blurred out. Combs continued to move closer and then grabbed plaintiff's genitals through his pants, squeezing them in a rough sexual manner. Good grief, the suit alleges. Plaintiff, shocked and disoriented, frozen momentarily, did not know how to respond to the weirdly inappropriate sexual advance made by Combs. And the alleged attack only stopped when the unnamed sports star, only identified in the suit as professional athlete A, came into the office and intervened, the filing charges. And the businessman allegedly fled the room and immediately left the party, according to the court papers. So, who could this be? Could this be a well-known top athlete? You know, this is a professional sports athlete. So doesn't exactly narrow it down, but you just wonder who exactly sense, and you know, would have obviously had a clear understanding of right and wrong and not been afraid of Diddy to just stop him doing that. Well, whoever, but I mean, I'll put it this way: whoever says ain't no party like a P Diddy party, I highly doubt it was one of those people. You know, if you know what I mean. But yeah, so I'm still quite early on. I'm just trying to get the link. Yeah, Shams, that's what I was saying, right? I mean, there's no way it could be LeBron James, right? Ain't no party like a P Diddy party. Like, what a. If there was ever a case of like a guy that's like part of the Illuminati, sold his soul, he might be like the most blatant example, LeBron James, like surely, right? The pics, do you mean the pics of LeBron at the party and that, like, which looked like a maid outfit or whatever? I mean, there's a few pictures, but then sometimes you don't know online, could these be doctored? Is it AI? Like, you don't know, sometimes it's a little bit, questionable. Some things that you see on X, Twitter. Right. Yeah. So I'm on the NY Post website, Shams, and there's the redacted photos. Um, Just a second, because I just get my screen up and share it. It's okay, Shams. Yeah, I'm sure if I do some digging, I could get it. Um, Usually X is my go-to. Yeah, I mean, I'm on the NY Post website, and I just that photo there of the people there. You see that with the blurry, but you've got the black dot, and then you've got Diddy there. Very nice. That's a real pleasant look right there. Diddy's giving the guy is like, oh yeah, such a nice man is the diddler. But yeah, those are the photos there. That's just from looking at the NY Post. But there's so many of these allegations now. It's up, you know. And so I mean, LeBron. No way LeBron James would have been the guy that stopped him. Again, I don't know when it comes to like American sports, when it comes to like the people that roll, like the more well-known names that roll in these circles. What I'm trying to say is like I don't know all the names of the top. I don't know the top American football players other than Tom Brady. Baseball players, I don't really know any top baseball players. I'd heard of the guy A-Rod, Alex Rodriguez. Um, Hockey, I don't know who the big hockey guys are. So that we hear about the guys in basketball. There's what is there? There's the guy who was at Odell Beckham Jr. Is he the guy that's dating Kim Kardashian right now? And there was that dodgy video that he was in with Justin Bieber. Um, so you just wonder that you'd like to think, well, this guy has a little bit of decency, has a bit of character, did the right thing, you know, getting Diddy right the hell off him. Diddy, knowing what we know now, I don't think we'd take too kindly to that now, though, would he? I could only imagine probably him getting in his face. Diddy would have done screaming at him, because he was just totally unhinged. That guy, the diddler, just absolute monster. This is kind of just gossip too, Shams, is it? I mean, I'm not exactly like Jaguar Wright with the level that I get with my views on my channel, but I try and try to uncover things that not some people have uncovered. Try and just, you know, reach to my own conclusions. Try not to jump on bandwagons. Yeah, but it's some interesting stuff though. It's with all this. I mean, I cover a lot of the stuff I've covered a lot of the Vince McMahon stuff, with that whole thing with the sex trafficking that went on there. And he was close to Diddy. There was a kind of like, I suppose, a working business type relationship there. Diddy had made appearances with the WWE a couple of times. So yeah, you just wonder how much did these guys know that were so many of these guys that did business with him. I don't think it's fair to point the finger at everybody. Not everybody would have known exactly what he was like, but I would imagine most people who broke bread with the diddler, they would have known exactly, what he was like, his true nature. All right, you're a YouTuber, Shams. Nice. Oh, you interviewed her husband, right, yeah, because things ended. Is that her ex-husband or the current husband, like that with Jaguar Wright? Teagues, welcome. There is only four human races: Black, Western, Eurasian, which include Europe and the Middle East, Eastern Eurasian, which include East Asia, Southern Eurasian, which include Indigenous people of Australia, and P. Thanks for the like. What's that got to do with Diddy, though? That's got nothing to do with what we're talking about, though. Yeah, I know it was so random that was it, Shams, what you said. Yeah, because I heard with Jaguar Wright that things ended quite bad with her ex-husband, but now she's you partner, you husband. Yeah, I do like the Nexus theme song, Teagues. I do, yeah. No, thank you for the compliment, Shams. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of the stuff. I mean, I don't believe everything that Jaguar Wright says, but there is a lot of truth there. She'll know things. She'll have her sources or connections from people being in the industry, people that she's still connected to that will tell her things. I don't believe everything though that comes out of Jaguar Wright's mouth. You know what I mean? I don't. I mean, it's hard to do a breakdown. Not many people do a breakdown. It can do a breakdown of Jaguar Wright's like things she says where you probably know it's a lie, or she gets exposed for telling a lie, contradicts herself on maybe some things. But certain things, you know, I mean, you have to question. Like for example, you know, one that kind of people overlooked. I was surprised, Shams, that so many people in the TikTok world overlooked this claim by Jaguar Wright, that she claimed that that Jay-Z sexually assaulted her. While he sexually assaulted her, he's pointing a gun at her and he's saying, "Sing, bitch." Right? But right. And then later on, you know, she's saying that, you know, so I believe her son got killed, right? Her son died. And she's saying that she allowed her son to intern at Rock Nation. And she's basically blamed Jay-Z for her son's death. You know? Ah, interesting. I have to check out your channel, Shams. Yeah. Yeah, I've seen a couple of videos of people kind of like exposing her lies, and I think she's kind of tried to. I don't know. You could say she's cleaned up her act a little bit, though, Shams, because I've seen like videos of her some like I don't know 2-3 years ago where she seemed just totally like crazy. You know what I mean? Like I thought like on Piers Morgan, she actually came off quite well. You know, I mean, yeah, she was really she was ranting, she was raving, but she did seem to kind of tone it down compared to like some of these appearances she'll make on YouTubers who, you know, aren't really celebrities, their shows, you know what I mean? Threw her son's ashes in a man's face. Yeah, I mean she's not, you know, there's definitely she's not well mentally, but in one way though I can understand that though, the industry, what that can do to people, you know, how it would leave somebody feeling unwell. Well, I think he was liked well for the most part. Yeah, it's okay, Shams. I'll entertain him on this question, but yeah, I think he was. I think he was fairly well liked in the locker room. Yeah, Yeah, there's some photo here from a way back. You might have heard this guy, Shams, of Jerome Childler's Lost Music, and Diddy's pictured with him with his arm around him. Which I don't know, like outside next to a car, like a Cadillac or something. The dead lot, eh? It wouldn't surprise you if you saw the picture. It would be no shock, knowing what we know now. Yeah, yeah, I know. There's all that stuff with the Abercrombie and Finch, former CEO of Abercrombie and Finch. I believe it was even more and more allegations now against the late Muhammad Al Fayed. I think he's like got 250 allegations of sexual assault. You know, Abercrombie and Fitch. That was never my cup of tea. Anyway, that just wasn't my style for clothing. You know, I never would have been drawn to a shop like that and wanted to work there. Domino effect, yeah, yeah, true. And well, there's stuff out there about you know all these allegations with Vince McMahon. Could there be some more things to come out, Shams? You know, Jenny SOE report. I'll need to take a note of that because that's something I have to check out. Davros, good evening. How are you, my friend? No, I'm doing good, thanks. Good of you to join me. I I put a shorts video, Davros, of that clip of the save at the end and then the block by Duke. I titled it "Duke Like a Boss." It's I wouldn't necessarily say it's blown up, but I think it's got almost like 600 views now since I last uploaded it about 2.5 hours ago. Oh yeah, is this the allegation, Sham, about the whole thing about the sexual assault? That and there was a celebrity couple that looked on. They watched. Is that the one you mean? Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, some people were speculating who could that be because some people were, I think, saying it could be either was it Will Smith or Jada, Jay Z or Beyonce, Chris John Legend. Right? They'd be like the three couples. Like, really, who else could it have been? Right? It would have been close to Diddy, like A-list that type couple. I don't know if Vince McMahon would have been at the Diddy parties. I don't think so. Ah, right. Different video. Person didn't know they were being filmed. Already, so many people didn't know they were being filmed by Diddy. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if there's something what's going on there, if like about the Diddy tapes. People speculated who could be on them. Did Diddy get compromised and stuff on everybody in the royal family? But then you're getting all these stories that they're putting out there that Diddy tried so hard to, like, he was courting, Prince William and Prince Harry, but then they kind of like pushed back, and but he was trying real hard. I think he was maybe getting close to being around Harry. Um, I don't know if it was just instincts on their part, to good instincts to get away from Diddy, or just people around him are like, maybe that's not good for your image as being part of the royal family, hanging out with this black hip hop guy who always bling and stuff like that. I don't know how they would have looked at it, but yeah. But Davros, it was some game though, wasn't it? On Saturday. I mean, I know Aberdeen didn't play that well, but it was, yeah, it meant so much to us. You could see at the end, it was like, yeah, we're cheating like it's a win. Um, you guys were in a two. You probably felt a bit disappointed just getting a point, but it's good though to have this challenge though. I mean, it's been so many years now where this feels like a genuine challenge with another team other than the old firm. Um, a lot of wrestlers are silent on Vince because they still have that blind loyalty, And I think there's maybe they saw a good side of Vince, so they always will go back to that and look at. They choose to focus on the good over the bad. But Backstreet Boys, interesting, Shams. So what about the Backstreet Boys, Shams? Would they have been groomed, or is this stuff because we've always heard stuff about Nick Carter, haven't we? Accusations against him. But then there's always these kind of stories that come out where it's like, oh, you know, they were lying, or the brother, his brother Adam Carter, later comes out and says, oh no, they were lying. But then at one point he's like, oh no, because he had that love hate relationship with his brother, didn't he? Yeah, yeah. I can't say that's a huge surprise that they were groomed. And think of like how young, you know, the guy Nick was, when he was in the band, compared to, like, there was a bit of an age difference between him and the other guys. Uh, who knows? It could have been the same thing, other bands before You Kids on the Block. There's stuff out there, wasn't it, like similar type of thing with NSYNC, and because wasn't their first manager ended up being a bit. He turned out to be a real dodgy guy, right? Well, yeah, you know what, Shams? I have to check out your channel. Yeah. Some of their stuff was actually all right. Was it You Kids? It was like kind of like there was that R&B element to it, and they had that because I think it wasn't just like they had a white fan base, but they had the black fan base too, because it was, I don't know, that a large part of that, the guy that produced the music was the same guy that produced You Edition. Was it Maurice Starr? He produced and wrote their stuff, right? Oh yeah, yeah. Speaking of grooming, yeah, Schofield, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, come on, yeah, Shams. Some white artists are just down with, like, black culture. I mean, I mean, the thing is, I actually write rap lyrics myself, and that's kind of like hip hop's been like the main genre that I've liked for a long time. You know what I mean? Hip hop, R&B, house, go back into Motown, soul, disco. I like all of that. R&B. Yeah, yeah. I think R&B's made somewhat of a comeback, hasn't it? I don't think it'll ever compare to 90s R&B, but yeah, some of it's not too bad. Eminem, yeah, I must say I'm not a huge Eminem fan. Eminem, you know what? 8 Mile though was a really good film. He was really good in 8 Mile. I liked that film. That was a really good film. Uh, yeah. Mark Henry's theme song tags. That was 3 6 Mafia, right? That did that song. Yeah, I like that one. I had that one downloaded back in the day in my MP3 player. It's a good song, man. Yeah. UFC, I don't really like the UFC so much, to be fair. No, no, no. 90s. Yeah. That's what I think. 90s is probably some of the best music shams. Some stuff from the noughties could compare, but yeah. I mean, when it comes to like dance music from the 90s, R&B, that would just the era of the music back then, and rap as well. It's just amazing. Yeah, drum and bass. I mean, that was the thing in Britain. It was kind of like there was like you had like the subgenres shams. You had like stuff like jungle. There was drum and bass, and then late in the late 90s, you had garage came out of that garage music. I don't know if garage music was that big in the states, but yeah, garage. I think it was the DJ Todd Terry played a part in like what became popular. With the garage music, and then I don't know if you've heard of Craig David. He got his kind of start. He was doing garage music, but then got more kind of mainstream, doing like pop music. All right, you're in Birmingham, Shams, are you? I wasn't sure. I think in my mind I was thinking you were American. I wasn't sure. Tags is asking about it's a WWE wrestler, Sheamus. That was he was asking about. Ah, Jamaican. Nice, nice, nice. I suppose it's quite stereotypical to assume that like it's all reggae music. That's the main type of music in Jamaica. But then I know dancehall is very popular too, which is going to be slightly different sound to your more traditional reggae. Yeah, I don't like the Miz song so much, Teagues. I don't like that one. Why do you want to know if I use PayPal, Shams? Is there a reason for that, or just curious? Diddy is toast. Oh, thank you for the donation, Shams. That really do appreciate that. Yeah, yeah. If it was donation, probably best doing it this route as opposed to PayPal. Oh no, yeah. That's something that I'm just kind of like. I'm not. Admittedly, I'm not the most tech savvy person, but I'm gonna get like that all that stuff set up soon. And yeah, because I'm trying to really work on building my channel. I might do that buy me a coffee thing. And and Kofi Fund. Kofi free. Kofi. Yeah, sometimes I mean I use Fiverr shams, and I'll go get money I've done from work on Fiverr to PayPal, and then to my bank account. Then there's always a charge there that Fiverr take, the bastards. Kofi website to help build your biz. No, definitely, I'll check that one out. Yeah. No, I use AdSense. I use AdSense. I do make a little bit of money on here, not much, but right. All right, I see. Right, yeah, because obviously you can't exactly say everything you want on YouTube, can you? So, right, right, right. Yeah, that's something I've had this on YouTube before, Shams. I don't know how you do it, or you may be more consistent than me. I'll have a really good run, then I'll stop, and then I'll get back on it. I think it's just that thing of consistency, because I just talk what I talk about. I don't really have a niche, and that's maybe something where you can set up your own channel, and then you've got like a specific niche. Maybe that's something I've been trying to think of, having another channel and setting up a U channel. Just looking at a photo of Usher, he's doing the whole, the 666. So blatant, that guy, man. He's part of the club, is he? He's sold his soul. He's part of the Illuminati. And seeing Usher, I mean, how it's kind of sad in a way, is it now, where all of a sudden Usher's got to go out and endorse for Kamala Harris, and he's doing the whole thing with the crowd, the waving. It's like, it's kind of sad that that's what's now he's got to do in his career, right? It's well, it was like Usher. Didn't Ellie Reid even say that it was like he brought Bieber as a gift to Ellie Reid, describing him as this beautiful young white boy. And he's another one, Ellie Reid, this sketchy guy. He's got some accusations against him, hasn't he? Did he put Usher in hospital? Yeah, yeah, I know. I know all about that. Heard of that. Yeah. Yeah, I know, I know. Certain people, Shams, I know they've had that thing, or they get strikes when they use certain words, and so I always watch what I say. Yeah, the kids, weren't they? They were slamming it as slamming these dangerous conspiracy theories, right? Yeah, because I'm just looking here. Sean Diddy Combs' children expressed united support for dad amid his sex you know what charges. I think you have to watch with that T word as well, right? Um, Sean Diddy Combs' kids are speaking out again, expressed united support for their dad when a month after Diddy was arrested. Remains behind bars as he waits for a trial, which is set for May the 5th. Past month has devastated our family. Many have judged both him and us based on accusations, conspiracy theories, and false narrative spiraled into absurdity on social media. We stand united, supporting you every step of the way. We hold on to the truth, knowing it will prevail. Doubt it. Kids are going to be kids, don't stick up for the dad, but nothing will break the strength of our family. We miss you and love you, Dad. Yeah, so, and it goes on. Brown, Christian Combs, and twins, whom Diddy shared with his late ex Kim Porter. Our lives were shattered when we lost our mother, their statement at the time read. She was our world, and nothing has been the same since she passed. While it has been incredibly difficult to reconcile, While it has been incredibly difficult to reconcile how she could have been taken away from us too soon, the cause of her death has long been established. There was no foul play. Grief is a lifelong process, and we ask everyone respect our request for peace as we continue to cope with our loss every day. We're deeply saddened that the world has made a spectacle of what has been the most tragic event of our lives. Our mother should be remembered for a beautiful, strong, kind, and loving woman she was. Her memory should not be tainted by horrific conspiracy theories. We ask everyone, please respect our mother and hold her legacy in high regard so she may rest in peace. Yeah, it's a tough one for the kids, you know. I mean, there's the theories out there. We've heard what Jaguar Wright has to say about it, and and there's the whole things as well about people being, why was the partner of Kris Jenner, Corey Gamble, why was he at the scene? How did he have some connection to Kim Porter exactly, or did he? What was that all about? Well, there's no. That's the thing, Davros. There's no such thing as free speech now, is there? That's the thing. The Kardashians, yeah, they've got a lot to answer for, no doubt. Um, can't forget about those allegations there with Kim, right? I mean, yeah, it's just a dark, dark world, is it? And it's, it goes back to how what made Kim Kardashian famous in the first place. Well, it was very much the sex tape of Ray J that put her on the map, right? You know, and the mother had no problem with it getting out there. You know what I mean? It was that was the big thing, right? How people became infamous back then. They had a sex tape, right? It worked for Paris Hilton. It worked for, well, didn't Pamela Anderson have one as well? Her keep her name out there at the time. Yeah, unaliving. Yes, yeah. I heard about that. Yeah, I heard he was kind of like aggressively pushing her to, you know, do these interviews, and maybe it's just more of a controlled thing. You know what I mean? They want her to be, they want her to get on the kind of side of controlled opposition. And that's, I do have some doubts about Jaguar, right? I must say, it's like, I don't know. Could she be? When she's going on Piers Morgan, I do think to myself, could she be controlled opposition? I don't know. Oh yeah. So Shams, you would know somebody who knows somebody who would know somebody that maybe I would be able to have a discussion with Jaguar Wright. Because I'll tell you this, it was a few months. I was actually thinking, would that would maybe be quite something to have a conversation with Jaguar Wright? Because most of these podcasts are YouTubers that she speaks to, and it's not about color, but they are, it usually normally the black people. I don't want to make it about race, this, but I think for me, the perspective of like a white guy interviewing her, and I'd maybe look at things from a different angle, have different questions, and put things in a different way. It'd be probably quite an interesting conversation. I know there would be it would probably involve a payday for her, and would there be something worth it in terms of growing the channel? It very well could be, you know. Right. I see. Right. So your people, Shams, aren't on good terms with Jagger. Right. Yeah. It's a tough one. I mean, we could break. It'd be an interesting conversation to have, or like a video to do for another day, breaking down like where what stories are true that she's told, and what stories she has told are just lies. She always jumping on the panels, cussing them, they friends again. But the thing is, I imagine she must be getting paid pretty good money now to do these interviews, and she's doing them on a pretty like consistent basis now, right? Um, I don't know. I don't know if it was before Piers Morgan, I might have probably had a better chance of getting her on, and I didn't jump on it. And shit. I don't know. If yeah, I think it depends, doesn't it, Shams? Right? It depends on the podcaster. Um, because I mean, you get DJ Vlad, and he says that he barely ever pays anybody to do an interview, right? And so many of these podcasters have kind of like gone down the DJ Vlad route, haven't they? That art of dialogue is basically like kind of like DJ Vlad, but it's a black guy doing it. Um, well, I mean, you know what? I mean, getting Jaguar right on the channel would definitely help. Um, Again, there's no harm in me reaching out to her and sending her an email and asking. I don't know if it'll be her personally who would respond, or she would have someone there that would do it, who deal with that on that the side. But there's no harm in just asking and seeing. I mean, Shams, you're in Brum, right? So have you heard of that guy, Matt Letitia, who kind of like is a bit more right wing, gets into like the conspiracy theory side of things? Have you heard of Matt Letitia? She's got an agent, right? Right. So this guy was like a big, quite a successful football player, a top goal scorer, and I had requested. Well, he's got like a receding hairline, Shams. He hasn't got much hair left, but um, basically, I asked, could I have him on to do an interview, and I need to find it. I don't know if I told you about this, Davros, about here who I wanted to do an interview with. Let me just I've got the email here. Where are we? I'm trying to find the email because I want to just ridiculousness of what people ask. I can't find it. I'm trying to find it exactly. Oh no, Shams, I appreciate that. This is the first time I believe you've been on here on the chat, though, right? I didn't really interview someone big, Shams. I say big. I mean, he was part of the Cafe de Rene channel. It's a wrestling channel. Oh no, that's very cool. I appreciate that. So you're day one, right? You've been down since day one. Right. So I asked, could I get Matt Letizia on for a 60-minute chat, right? And they got back to me. A woman by the name of Angela. She said, "Hi, Stephen. Many thanks for getting in touch. Matt usually charges £1,000 for an hour podcast." So £1,000 for a 60-minute chat. It's like, sorry, no freaking way. No way I'm paying that amount. Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't know. I mean, similar kind of views, political views. To be fair, Shams, there's some things. I mean, I mean, he was talking about the pandemic and saying how that was bullshit. He's been pointing out a lot of this stuff now. You know, all of a sudden, all these football players are going off the field. They've got heart issues. There seems to be something there that all of a sudden this is happening after the vaccine being rolled out, and they were pushing that hard, and all the footballers to be the pressure that getting from their own managers to take the jab. That was really disappointing when you hear those stories about getting pressured into taking the jab. It just, you lose respect for people that do that. Yeah, I just didn't trust. I was two Shams. I just didn't trust the fuckers. I wasn't going to risk it. I did a rap on it. I did a whole rap song. I did attacks anti-vax. You have lies and there's facts. The system that planned this will one day collapse. Not working. The nurses were twerking. Patients and patient were hurting. It's also disturbing. And I went on. There's nothing wrong with swearing. I try to swear when the time's right. English Eminem. You got him, yeah, it wasn't bad, right? Scottish Eminem to be exact. I picked it up pretty quickly to be fair. All right, have you not heard any of the raps before? My rapping ability, Davros, or oh no, you're talking about sorry, you're Letitia. Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I think I'd heard from someone that last year that was following my channel, and they were like, "Oh, I know someone through Matt Letitia," because I was trying to get on. I thought it'd be a good conversation. They just said he politely declined, but I don't think he had any idea who I was. But yeah, there's no way I was going to pay £1,000. Like maybe I'd pay like 75 to 100, but no way I'm paying a grand to get a guest on. Which may not do anything for the channel. Yeah, that's an idea, Shams. That's an idea. I mean, is that something you do yourself and go on like these panels and talk about all the stuff like with the diddler and all that? I mean, I did that one time before, and it was like okay, but then you get some kind of like you'll get your idiots on there, and it's kind of hard to tolerate. But the panels, yeah, that's maybe something. Yeah, I've even thought of I'd there was something about Sean Atwood about almost going on. I'd reached out to Sean, went through to a booking agent, but then in the end, nothing came of it. That's maybe something that I could might be able to revisit that. Um, yeah, I just do my own thing, Shams. I'm not going to compromise. Atwood, right? Yeah. He always did the videos with that guy. Was it Steeples, right? Matthew Steeples. He always had that wore that brown, the orange jumper. I don't know what's happened to him. Does he just do his own thing now? Does he, or he kind of just has a setup like I do? Nothing too like fancy or super high tech, but yeah. So Steeples has got about 4,000 plus subscribers, so just a little bit more than me. Not by much though, right? Right. I see. Right. Yeah, some of my video is very shams. A lot of it can come to your consistency because I was watching this in a video earlier on. It's like what the algorithm is. People maybe get mixed up with the algorithm is, but it's like the algorithm will is that the algorithm is rewarding you for posting content on a regular basis. That's where the views come. That's whatever people talk about. What's known as the algorithm. If it's consistent, if you consistently put out content and it's good, you'll get those views coming in. Yeah, but by the same token though, a lot of it is the right time for posting things as well. Like I remember I posted something on a Sunday evening about it was a John Cena thing, and then I think within a day or two I'd got about 20 plus thousand views on it. I just happened to when I uploaded it, it uploaded and was published at almost exactly the same time that John Cena did that whole thing at the Oscars. We did that silly thing. He came out, he was almost fully naked. It's just the timing of it. I had no idea it was Cena was doing that. That it was even at the Oscars, and it was just fortunate timing with the video when I posted it. No, thanks. Yeah. I appreciate Shams. I appreciate that very much. Yeah, that's something I need to work a little bit on getting thumbnails all sorted and that. But I thanks very much though. I have to check out your channel as well and see some of your stuff. Oh yeah. That's fine. That's not a problem. Maybe I have a little bit more time for the Jaguar Wright theories than you do, but no, it's all good. It's all good. It'd be quite interesting. See what. Yeah, yeah. Let's have a look. Any more did he use? Anything more about the diddler? Oh God. T- Tell me this is like a new allegation or not. Tell me it's not. Uh, Diddy accused of sexually assaulting woman after a party attended by three A-list female stars. So I believe this is a fresh new allegation. Just looking at this now. So Diddy was accused of drugging and sexually assaulting a woman after she met him at a party attended by Mary J. Blige, Lil Kim, and Nicki Minaj in Las Vegas. The unidentified victim alleged she was lured by the music mogul to a Memorial Day after party in 2014. She claimed in a lengthy lawsuit that she met the musician at an exclusive party, the popular poolside lounge Club Rehab at the Hard Rock Hotel. After the party died down, the young victim, who'd been referred to as Jane Doe, claimed she was invited to an after party at Combs' suite at the Planet Hollywood Hotel. On arrival, the filing states she noticed tens of dozens of open bottles of his vodka and was directed to the bar area by Diddy. He directed the plaintiff to grab a bottle and help herself. Jeez, just gets darker and darker, doesn't it? Juracast, good evening. How are you, mate? Good to see you, man. Oh no, it's my goal would be to like almost be like a full-time YouTuber, Shams, or to ensure that I can, you know, if I was to do enough good YouTube, make money, live off. But I still do other things. I'm okay. Yeah, but this is another new allegation though. Just came out. The Daily Mail reported it about 40 minutes ago. And she claims that 40 minutes after having a couple of drinks from a bottle of what she thought to be vodka, she began to feel nauseated, dizzy, and started to lose control of her motor functions. When she complained about her state, she was directed to an empty bedroom in Diddy's suite and told to lie down until she felt better by a person identified as Smooth. Documents allege that the next morning she woke up feeling groggy and sore and saw Combs in the corner of the room, shirtless and yelling loudly with animation at someone over the phone. Out of fear and confusion, Plaintiff remained silent and still until Combs left the room and she heard the front door to the suite close. Plaintiff eventually got up and realized she was naked and her general soreness was more aggravated in her genital area. Good grief. She was horrified to realize she had been sexually assaulted by Combs. She found her belongings, including her dead cell phone, and made her way back to the Hotel Rio, where her friends were staying. Good grief. Just so fucking disturbing. This was around the time Diddy was with Cassie as well. This party. And women made her way to the hotel, where she ended up sleeping for 2 entire days. She only remembered vague glimpses of her friends trying to wake her up and offer her water. Afterwards, her friends told her that they did their best to take care of her during this time, but she was largely incoherent. Goodness me, man. The alleged victim claims she was plied with GHB, which they say has been found in the baby oil bottles found in Diddy's house. Diddy's attorneys previously told DailyMail.com that he never sexually assaulted anyone, and said the recent barrage of filings were nothing but clear attempts to garner publicity. So more and more, these lawsuits are going to be in the thousands at this point. They really are. The diddler, huh? All these different names that he had, and he was trying to change his whole thing to, was it Love? He was calling himself Brother Love at one point, which was weird because that was a character in WWF. Brother Love, you know, he was a manager, a wrestling manager. I mean, it's gonna be one of those things though. I mean, they're all these lawsuits. It's like, I mean, he's probably already screwed, is he? Financially, he's probably. I mean, he could end up millions in debt, you know. Well, it's going to be that's the big trial is next May. But am I right? Someone said in New York trials are in New York, they won't be recorded, so you wouldn't see any of the footage on TV. Am I right? Yeah, May 4th. What's the thoughts on the Liam Payne death, Julia Cass? Do you think there might have been foul play there? Right, yeah, that's what I'd heard that they can't do. It's not like it's going to be like Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. We see all the footage, and he's got the smug grin on his face all the time. And right, yeah, I mean, he had his drug issues, and he when you're a star like him and you got all the money, so you go to a foreign country like Argentina, you're going to find people. People in your team will go and hook up and get people to give you what you're looking for with that. So you can keep a buzz, get your high. You know, just to think, not even like 7 days ago that the guy was still alive. I mean, it's just real tragic, though, isn't it? Just wonder why he would need an advance, though, would he? If he was supposedly this really rich guy, Joe Cass. From the money he would have made in One Direction, right? Yeah, and at that point, if his labels dropped, there's these allegations from his ex fiance. 2 days prior, the girlfriend leaves to go back home. So he would have been a pretty dark place, and still pretty tragic to think he's 31 years old, though. I don't know. The conspiracy theorist in me feels like there's something more to it. It could have been like an industry sacrifice killing. Not that he didn't actually have these demons and issues before, and he might have been in that headspace where he had enough. I'm not saying that he wasn't, but it could have just been a sacrifice, the industry sacrifice, and so many of these stories of people that, are found dead in a bathtub at a hotel, all these other stories, but from the falling from the balcony at a hotel and all this, and all right, Shams, you were on X Factor the same year, right? Do you remember seeing Liam then? Do you remember seeing him around at like the auditions, the boot camp? Wow, it's crazy. But I mean, talk about like, is that stuff that you see on TV? I mean, how much of that is kind of like pre planned? Like, there's the pre auditions you have before you go on TV and meet the judges. What's that like? Yeah, I heard good stuff about Liam Payne that he was a good guy. Yeah, good kid. I had to sign a contract. Right, right, right. 8 different rounds. Right, right. And that's the thing, isn't it? When you get all these people that are like, you get the shit people on the shows that clearly are shit, and then they're getting on, and there could be some like could be some real problems they have up here, like mental health issues, and these people are like they're being exploited. It just shows that was a real fucked up like show that got way too out of control. You know, assessments on mind, right, right, yeah. So you've got to be. So a lot of with these crazy people that are like shit, they're probably actually more sharper than they let on, right? Contract says they can use my voice and image for so many years. Wow. Wow. So it wasn't kind of like a non-disclosure agreement you had to sign. It wasn't exactly like that, was it? Or interesting. No, I think it was heard a couple of similar stories from people that went on there. Right, right. I see, I see. So maybe when you're getting to like the judges' houses or the live show part, then maybe then it's more, yeah, it's a bit more, well, more full on. Bloody hell, though. Wow, yeah. And when you think back, Shams, do you think like it was like they had plans for Liam even back then when he was 14 on the show, but then maybe Cowell and others just decided, oh, just to hold off. He's maybe just a bit too young. Give him wait a year or two. Gee, crazy these things how they operate and how they think they can own these people and they don't give a shit about the talent, do they? They don't give a shit about their well being. Wow, crazy, isn't it? Wow, that was interesting though because I'm sure there's some books out there on previous people who have spoken out, but then maybe a lot of them are too afraid or because they signed an NDA and they just keep stum. But maybe I'm sure there's been maybe a few that maybe have said some stuff. And I mean, Steve Brookstein, who won the first X Factor, he's pretty outspoken though, isn't he? On like social media and Twitter. Well, Steve Brookstein, funnily enough, he his wife was an old music teacher at my secondary school. She was there just before I joined. He would have been, he would have been around in Aberdeen. Probably still is, Uh, yeah, he's somebody I might tweet him another time. Yeah, 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 yeah. It's all these coincidences in life, is it, Shams? But it's one of those things like Steve Brookstein was actually seemed like an all right guy, and he was a good singer, but did Steve Brookstein really was he really going to be like a big multi-million pound like selling recording artist? I don't think so. A lot of that comes down to maybe his age. He'd maybe just missed the boat out by a few years, but I suppose he just blames Carol though for all that going down south. And yeah, he's quite low key. He's quite outspoken about things in politics. He's very outspoken on Twitter. I hope so, Shams. Yeah, I'm just going to stick at it and hopefully the views and subs keep coming in. But I'm going to check out your channel though and see some of your videos. I think it'd be quite interesting. Um, I think I'm just going to wrap this up in just a few minutes. But any other comments, any questions, anything you got, just fire away now. I'll just answer a couple more things. I don't know. I'm just getting a little bit tired, Shams. But I'll be. You know what? I'll maybe do another live stream tomorrow, and be a bit more consistent doing these, you know? Yeah, Michael Bublé. I think Michael Bublé though, wasn't he a little bit younger though when he got his break? He was at least like late 20s, early 30s, was he not? What do you want me to do breaking news on, Shams? No, not my cup of tea, Julia Cass. Like the thing is, Julia Cass, I would have taken Steve Brookstein's voice over Michael Bublé's anytime because Steve Brookstein was quite big of like his voice was more of a throwback to like the old kind of like soul and Motown singers, So in a way, he was still he still had he had a very good voice, you know what I mean? And is Bublé pretty edgy? Is he, Joe Cassie? He's dropping some f bombs, right? I didn't think he was that kind of guy. Just haven't met you yet. Yeah, I suppose it was that Paris and Rome song, Paris to Rome or whatever, that all the people would cover and all the people would do an X Factor. Celeb murder cases. Why do you think that would be a good thing? I could do videos in that, Shams. That would be like almost like true crime, I suppose. Yeah, I'm not. I wouldn't say I wouldn't go out my way to listen to Michael Bublé music, Joey Cass. I'm more like Justin Timberlake, Pharrell. Prefer those guys' music to like Michael Bublé. More just I don't know, just that flavor to it, I suppose. All right. I'm just gonna wrap up the YouTube stream for now, guys. Thanks everybody who joined. Shams, good, always good first time commenter. Thank you for coming on and good to see you too, Julia Cass, one of the regulars again. Be good to get a few of the more regs on at the same time. I might do a live stream tomorrow. I'll see how I feel. But yeah, I'm going to just be a bit more consistent and but I'll definitely check out your channel, Shams. No, you're welcome. Thanks for coming on. I really do appreciate that. But I just think I'm going to wrap this up for now. But stay tuned, so I'll try and be a bit more consistent with content. And I might do a live stream though tomorrow evening, maybe around 8 to 9 o'clock if I do one. But thanks very much, guys. I'm just going to have a rest for now. But take care. Enjoy the rest of your night. So see you. Bye.